All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a dense mythological text and transforming it into an absolute epic. We're talking forbidden romance, a magical heist, and a literal world-shaking war between deities. Let's just jump straight into it. Seriously, what actually happens when a forbidden dream sparks a war between the gods? We're skipping our usual agenda today because we need to plunge directly into a mythological blockbuster that will totally hook you from start to finish. It's got everything: hubris, magic, romance, and honestly, some of the most cinematic ancient battles ever recorded. Section 1. The Pride of Banasura. Okay, let's meet Banasura. He's this Asura king ruling his kingdom from the city of Sonitapura. Now, Banasura was a fiercely devout follower of Shiva, and as a reward for his intense devotion, Shiva granted him a staggering boon of 1,000 arms. He became so terrifyingly powerful that he literally tried to pick fights with wild elephants. And the crazy part? The elephants actually fled from him in absolute terror. It's a classic ancient metaphor for how unchecked power can make a ruler completely lose touch with reality. But, unchecked power usually breeds unchecked arrogance. Intoxicated by his own strength, Banasura actually had the audacity to complain to Shiva that he didn't have any equals to fight. Can you imagine? Shiva was completely enraged by the disrespect and delivered this ominous, fateful prophecy. Your flag will be broken, O fool, when your pride is vanquished in a battle you have with someone like me. Section 2. The Mystical Dream Lover. So the spark that ignites this entire powder keg starts when Banasura's daughter, Princess Usha, falls desperately in love with a mysterious young man who just appears to her in a dream. And rebellious youth outsmarting overbearing parents, that is a truly timeless theme. Usha's super talented artist friend, Chitralekha, steps up as the ultimate wingwoman to make this dream a reality. She sketches portrait after portrait of the Vrishni dynasty until Usha finally points him out. It's Aniruddha, the grandson of the god Krishna. Then, Chitralekha uses her yogic powers to pull off a magical heist. She actually travels to Krishna's palace in Dwarka, shrinks the sleeping prince down to the size of a doll, and smuggles him all the way back to Sonitapura. Section 3. The Secret Discovered. Well, a secret this massive was never going to stay hidden for long, right? Breaking her vow of chastity, Usha secretly worshipped her lover, bringing him priceless garments, fragrances, and these huge feasts. Tucked away in her maiden quarters, the couple completely lost track of the days. But inevitably, Banasura caught wind of what his daughter was up to. He bursts into her chambers and catches them just casually playing dice. And even as the shrunken prince bravely tries to fight off the palace guards, Banasura completely subdues him with the mystical ropes of the god Varuna. Usha is just left absolutely overwhelmed with sorrow. Now, the tension really starts to build here, because for a whole month, Aniruddha just sits in captivity. A month passes in agonizing silence, while his family, the Yadus, are searching frantically for him everywhere. Finally, the sage Narada figures out what happened and alerts them back in Dwarka. Section 4. The Great Divine War. This revelation absolutely forces the Yadus to retaliate, and it launches us straight into the spectacular climax of this story. The Yadu princes didn't just send a little rescue party. They sent an apocalyptic force. They besieged Banasura's kingdom with 12 massive military divisions, known as Akshauhinis. They surrounded the city entirely, which of course prompted a fierce, desperate counterattack from Banasura. To make sure we don't get lost in this massive divine roster, let's break down the matchups. Shiva himself actually arrives on his bull Nandi to protect his devotee Banasura. Meanwhile, Balarama takes on Banasura's commander, and Samba goes head-to-head with Banasura's son. This is a battle of such epic proportions that Brahma, heavenly sages, and all these celestial beings literally pull up in their celestial vehicles just to watch the spectacle unfold from the sky. And the sheer cinematic scale of this conflict is just breathtaking. We see Krishna and Shiva directly countering each other's devastating elemental attacks. It's like a cosmic chess match. Krishna uses his Brahmastra to counter Shiva's Brahmastra. When Shiva unleashes a wind weapon, Krishna drops a mountain weapon. Shiva throws fire, Krishna summons rain. And finally, Krishna unleashes the Narayanastra against Shiva's Pashupatyastra. Watching this elemental logic unfold is just fascinating. But honestly, the madness of this war peaked with something truly bizarre. The Battle of Fevers. Shiva unleashed Jvara, which is the literal embodiment of his fever. It's this terrifying entity with 3 heads, 3 feet, radiating scorching heat. So what does Krishna do? He immediately counters by producing his own Jvara of frigid coldness. These 2 literal diseases actually dueled each other on the battlefield until Shiva's scorching entity was totally overwhelmed, forced to surrender, and offer obeisance to Krishna. Wild, right? Section 5. Forgiveness and Marriage. So, after Krishna completely shatters Banasura's chariot and totally bypasses a desperate, frankly shocking distraction from Banasura's mother, who actually stood naked on the battlefield to make Krishna look away, the final judgment arrives. Krishna starts chopping off Banasura's extra arms with his Sudarshana chakra. Shiva pleads for his devotee's life. Now, Krishna agrees to spare the Asura king, but not just because of Shiva's plea. He does it to honor a promise the god Vishnu made to Banasura's devout ancestors, to never kill a member of their family. However, to permanently cure Banasura of the sheer arrogance that started this whole mess, Krishna severs his arms until only 4 remain. Shiva's prophecy, perfectly fulfilled. Stripped of all that massive hubris, a fully humbled Banasura finally realizes his mistake. He bows his head before Krishna in deep respect, and then joyfully arranges the wedding chariot, sending Usha and Aniruddha off to be married in Dwaraka. Cosmic order is finally restored. Section 6. A lasting cultural legacy. Because, you see, the story of Usha doesn't just end on a mythical battlefield. There's this beautiful epilogue found in Bengali texts like the Manasa Mangala Kavya, which tells us that Usha and Aniruddha were actually reborn in their next lives as Behula and Lakshmindara. They found each other and married all over again, proving that the power of their romance transcended even a single lifetime. This legendary heist and the divine war that followed left a massive cultural footprint all over India. I mean, we're talking the 18th century Gujarati poetry Okraharan, the 1901 Telugu stage play Usha Paranyam, right up to early 20th century Tamil and Telugu cinema. The story of a daughter's bold love and a father's broken pride clearly resonates deeply across so many different languages and mediums, getting retold to generation after generation. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to really ponder. If absolute pride, the kind that makes a king with 1,000 arms demand a worthy opponent, can literally ignite a war between the gods, what modern conflicts around us are secretly being driven by our own unseen hubris? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating legend with me. Keep asking questions, keep learning.